Hey! Look at that. I didn't think I was going to be on time today, but I am. Proud of myself. One should make an effort to be on time all the time. And I do. But sometimes mornings, things happen. Got my coffee, got my tablet, got my robe. Let's do it. Let's do it. 2 and 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday, January 9th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Oh, man. You ever have one of those dreams that you wake up and you're like, what just happened? I had one of those dreams. And it was really weird. I don't have the whole thing. I have bits and pieces, but I laid in bed for about 10 minutes trying to process what just happened in my brain. Because my brain was connecting dots and making stories that should not have happened. I didn't like it. Let's just say it involved people that are no longer in my life, places that are no longer in my life, but the people and the places were never there together. Places that I'm going to go, all of these dots connected. It was super weird. So, yep. Well, what else happened yesterday other than my bizarre dreams? You can see that I cut my hair, shaved, well, trimmed. And coached some CrossFit. That was fun. Lost my voice. Lots of yelling. It was one of those workouts where I had to cue a lot of things very loudly over music. Had a decently productive day. Went to the bank to open a couple accounts. No, one. I went to open one account with a consulting. And because I was doing it as a DBA, which is just, personal, but with another name, which is all legal. State gave me paperwork. They don't do that often, and it took 2 hours. It took 2 hours. I like the people at the bank. They're nice, and they treat me very well. But it took 2 hours. This is supposed to be like a 15-minute thing. So needless to say, I didn't get everything done yesterday. I was planning to. So I did that, went to my office, the co-working space office, put my head down, got a bunch of work done, and apparently in the middle of that, there was this bizarre blizzard snow squall thing that reduced visibility on the road to 0, and cars were crashing, and I came out to my car and there were inches of snow on it in 90 minutes. Huh. I didn't even notice. Didn't even notice out the window when it was snowing that crazy, because I was working that hard. So I was a little proud of myself. What else? What else did I do yesterday? Put some time in on the new strength and conditioning program. Continue to revise some of the back-end stuff on the books. And they're starting to sell. I think we've sold a copy of the Martial Artist Handbook every day for a week. It's happening. It's starting to work. I'm excited. I started to make some plans for other books. I got a list of all the books to write. I will be traveling tomorrow, but have plans to work on another book, which interestingly enough has nothing to do with martial arts. It's just a subject that I want to write about. It is about transportation. And I see some dots connecting in the future and I have not heard anyone make these predictions. So I figured, hey, let's write a book about it, and then if those start to come true, maybe I will become some high-paid person in some way. Who knows? So let's do that. So I'm gonna write that book, and then when we're done with that, gotta work on. The next one's gonna be the Master Hopkick origin story. I think I've got a way that I want to do this now. I've been thinking about it for a while, so I'm pumped for that. Yeah. Well, what's going on today? I have a client going to the gym, and between now and then, it's just work. I got some consulting work to do. Had a box of Taekwondo hand and foot protectors, the Olympic style stuff, show up yesterday. So I got a box of those that have to go out. Go to Amazon. Yeah, just there's not a lot special happening today. Just chewing on work, just getting it done, taking the day off tomorrow, doing a little bit of traveling. There will be a First Cup episode. I'm going to leave after First Cup because, yes, that's how important you all are. I do this show and then I run away. Yeah. Well, we got some questions, so let's answer the questions. Let's talk about this stuff. Gabe wrote yesterday, do you ever do katas or drills, Karate Kid style, while on hikes? And I made a brief answer of that on the YouTube channel, but how about a longer answer? Yes, but not too much. So for me, hiking, and there's an episode that is of Martial Arts Radio that's coming out today that talks a little bit about this. And it's a short episode. It's just something I recorded in video. We had some technical issues, and Julius is working on that now, so that'll come up soon. Oh, excuse me. The majority of the way that I look at martial arts when I'm out in the woods is more, it's the secondary skills. It's not the punching and the kicking, it's the balance and the awareness. It's quiet. I check behind me periodically to make sure there isn't a mountain lion following me. Yes, mountain lions exist in Vermont. Officially they don't, but they do. Not very many, but they're there. Or a bear, or whatever. But there are times where, I'll take a break and it's like, I want to kick that tree. Can I kick that branch? I'm not kicking hard. I'm not taking off bark. It's just, it's accuracy and it's height. And I'm constantly kicking things as I walk around. And it's only been in the last week that I've realized how much I'm doing this. Whether it's the door frames or, various cabinets. I'm constantly kicking. And I've come to realize that this is why I'm not losing my skill kicking, and in some ways I'm actually progressing. It's because I'm using this skill frequently. And I do the same thing when I'm out on the trail. So it's a kick. Could I be doing more? Yeah. Could I bring a tripod and take pictures of myself kicking? I could, but Simon Scher does that, and that's his thing. I don't want to steal that from him. Plenty of other people do that, but that's really Simon's thing. If you know Simon, he's been on the show. Great guy, great friend, supporter of Whistlekick. Really appreciate that, man. If things were less busy for me, we would be doing more content. If you guys follow his YouTube channel, you know we've done a number of things together. But I'm just swamped. And for us to do anything is a whole day project between driving and doing the work. And it's fun, but it doesn't turn into money for Whistlekick. And that's what I gotta focus on. Yeah. So am I out there, you know, balancing on a rock, doing jump kicks? No. It's not like that. I would love to teach a class like that. Hey, everybody, we're gonna go hike, and then at the top of this mountain, we're gonna kick, and then we're gonna hike back down and go over here. One of the things that I would love to do as part of Whistlekick, so I'll share this with you, because I always try to share stuff very openly on First Cup. It's the main thing I can give this community that I don't give other communities. You know, aspects of the Whistlekick community anyway. I've talked a little bit about my desire to do seminars and travel around and do that and make that more of a thing that we do. Because I think it could be a fun way to connect with people and make a little bit of money. I don't see it as being a really lucrative line for Whistlekick, but you know, who knows? What I would like to grow that into would be having people come to Vermont for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, you know, and turn it into a very intense destination martial arts training, which would be a sun up to sundown training, not just hard conditioning, lots of push-ups kind of thing, but incorporating a lot of my philosophy of martial arts. You know, let's take it out into nature. Let's work on movement, and let's help you work on your relationship with martial arts, things like that. But we're not there yet, because the amount of money that I would have to charge, because I would bring in other instructors and, you know, leverage my connections, but the amount of money I would have to charge for that is pretty high. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars, and Whistlekick's just not at the point yet. My personal reputation is not at the point yet where people are going to pay that. But how cool would that be for? I mean, I want to offer that because I want that, right? So if I want that, there have to be other people who want that. You know, what'd you do on your vacation? I went to Vermont and did martial arts for like 7 days straight. That'd be sweet. Next. My nose is a little runny. When interviewing martial artists on Whistlekick Martial Arts Radio, do school owners offer a different perspective on things? We'll assume school owners versus non-school owners. We don't talk about it in that way, but yes, I would say that they do, because as a school owner, you witness the martial arts journey of far more people than non-school owners. The majority of martial artists have never owned a school. The majority of martial artists are really only hyper aware of their own martial journey, and that's okay. That's by design. You should be worried more about you than the people around you, right? But what that doesn't allow for, when you're looking at you and you alone, is you don't tend to see the common struggles, the common experiences. And it's from those common experiences that you can derive some wisdom and then share that with individuals. And that's a lot of what I'm trying to do with Martial Arts Radio and with the books and with the other content that we generate, is to offer some information based on my experience, my observation, that others may not have or share. So It's not to say that I only want school owners on the show, and I think if you look back at the people we've had on the show, you know that that's not a requirement. We have a guideline. I wouldn't even call it a rule because we've broken it plenty of times. We have a guideline that you would be a black belt or equivalent in coming on the show. And that's not because achieving that rank is some sort of magical standard, but it is the easiest line to draw in the sand to say someone who has been training a while and is dedicated and has experience. But you'll see, I mean, I can think of two people off the top of my head. We've got another one coming in what, next week, 2 weeks, who, because of something that they're doing, they have wonderful stories. And we wanted to lend some support. Last cue for the day. Remember, I want more questions. So shout out to Gabe for leaving a question. And shout out to Frank for always leaving questions. Remember, resolution for the show for 2020, more people asking questions. In your interview with Sensei Jenni, this was Monday's episode, Sensei Jenni, see you, the subject of religion came up. Why do you think people are asking about bowing and meditation more now? I don't know that it's more, or are they more comfortable asking? We've heard a number of times on the show about students interested in martial arts, but they're uncomfortable with bowing. For those of you who may not be aware, we operate a selective Facebook group called Martial Arts Debates, and it's where we explore some of these subjects. It gives me some material that we use on Martial Arts Radio, and it's great conversation. And I believe this subject came up recently, and it was a wonderful conversation. And what it really comes down to is people not understanding the intent of the symbol of the bow. And, you know, some people can make an argument that the bowing is rooted in some religious aspects of Japanese culture, but how do we use it in modern martial arts, even modern traditional martial arts? It's meant to be respect, and that's all it is. That's all in my heart when I bow to someone. It's a respectful gesture, and so you have a contrast there. It's what do people feel about that? No, that's not the important part. The important part is that people are asking about it because they want to train. And rather than talking about the specifics of that, the question is really about why does it seem like that conversation's happening more now? I think it's, I don't know that it is happening more now, but let's assume that it is. If it is happening more now, I would say it's because people are more comfortable asking that question, that martial arts has been around long enough that people of different religious backgrounds are interested and yet willing to say, hey, this is a thing that I want to check out, but this aspect of it makes me uncomfortable. How do we reconcile that? And of course, it's up to the school owner to decide how to handle that, because there's no right way. There are lots of different ways you can handle it. I'll be honest, I'm glad that that question didn't come up when I was teaching, because it's a tough one. Because on the one hand, you want people to feel comfortable in your class, you want them to learn, and bowing, it's not really a big deal. On the other hand, bowing is a very traditional aspect, and If some people stop doing it, will everyone stop doing it? Are you creating two sets of rules? And does that lead to chaos? I don't have a school anymore. I don't have to worry about that. But I can see both sides. What I like about martial arts and the free market aspect of it is that there's no right way. So, in the example of bowing and someone who isn't comfortable for their own personal beliefs in doing so, if enough people feel that way, then a school's going to pop up that does something instead of bowing. Instead of the traditional bow here, it could be, the Kempo bow that I've seen. It could be something completely different. It could be something verbal. There are lots of ways to show respect. In the U.S., we shake hands. In most of Western society, we shake hands. But what about fist bumps now? Right? It's a modern handshake. It's a modern bow. That would be funny. A school where you fist bump instead of bowing entirely. At the beginning of class, end of class, before and after partner work. Actually kind of like that. That'd be kind of fun. If you know of a school out there that doesn't bow but instead fist bumps, Gabe says they teach it like a military salute. Yeah. It's same idea. If you know of a school that exclusively uses fist bumps, I want to talk to them because I think that would be fun, but also very relevant to some aspects of the current conversation. So let me know. All right, here's where we go from here. Subscribe, turn on notifications, because we have a lot of content coming to you, including this show, which is every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. Check it out in your podcast feed, though, as well, or firstcupwithjeremy.com. If you have a question, and I hope you have a question, drop it below, and I'll answer it tomorrow. If you're listening and you can't drop it below, email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. If you want to support this and the other shows and all the work that we're doing at Whistlekick, lots of ways you can do that. You can shop for something, or you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. And if you subscribe with $5 or more per month, you get even more content, exclusive content that you won't get anywhere else. And now for your daily homework. Talked a lot over the last few weeks about taking your training outside and incorporating it into your day and all of that. Talked a lot about meditation and awareness. But today I talked about how I feel walking around my house kicking things has been really helpful. I'd like you to identify a few spots in your home, wherever you live, that you could kick. And when you walk past them, or punch, pick a couple targets, and when you walk by them, use them. Whether you're working on accuracy or maybe trying to push your height a little bit, whatever it is, just have those targets. And maybe not every time you walk by them, but why not? Throw a technique. How many more kicks or punches or whatever does that add up to over the course of a year? Huge, huge numbers. And that's pretty impactful on your progress. So give that a try. Episode of Martial Arts Radio should be up, we're guessing, in an hour. So check that out. It is a video episode, so you'll see that. At some point, audio will be first because more people consume it in audio, so we prioritize that. But if you're subscribed with notifications, you'll see the video come up on YouTube. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you back here tomorrow for Friday's episode. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Peace.